Today, we're going to do something different. We're going to explore the significance of the lotus flower. Now, you may say, what you're showing me, these are not proper lotus representations, but this is a design that I've been drawn to, I want to say, my entire life. I keep drawing the same design over and over during my almost 60 years of life. I don't understand it, and I haven't understood it until I studied mandala art and sacred geometry with Patricia Fitzgerald, who is a mandala artist out of Dublin, Ireland. And I was directed to seek her from a psychic medium who happened to see a wall of art that I had years ago. Now, the ones I showed you were my own creations. I designed it, I colored it, painted it, whatever. But when I was speaking with this psychic years ago, I was just coloring from a mandala coloring book for adults. And she said, the psychic said, oh, you should, there's a mandala artist that you should connect with out of Dublin, Ireland. And then I did. And during the pandemic, I took a class on sacred geometry, mandala art, the seed of life. I learned about the seed of life, toroidal shapes, the Celtic knot, all these different things that brought me back to my passion as a child, which is art. So, this morning, in going through some of my notebooks, I found notes from March 16th, 2022 about the lotus. Okay, there's also a mantra that has kept coming back to me, and I want to say it's something that my father had said, and I have daddy issues. That's one of the wounds I've been healing over the last couple of years, 10 years or more, that I've really been focused on healing. But something that I remember him saying, and it came to me a couple times in a dream, like I would wake up at times and have this mantra going on in my mind, and I didn't know what it meant. I didn't even know how to spell what I was hearing. And it's funny, I'll just say, during the course of my spiritual journey over the last 10 years, I could be sleeping and have a song go through my head. And then when I wake up, I look up the lyrics. That's all part of the twin flame journey, because a lot of it was love songs and messages from my twin, like telepathic messages or whatever. That's a whole nother story. But this mantra that I recall my father saying, I don't know why I'm attributing it to my father, but it is Om Mani Padme Hum. And in looking it up, it has something to do with the lotus. So I want to share these notes with you about the lotus. These are just me reading the notes. So, they're not, oh, here comes my cat. Why does she do this? And I have my candle lit and I don't want her to be injured. Her name is Pikachu. And stop it, Pika. Look at her. She has to go and smell it and then she puts her head back and she's afraid. Now, Mommy said no. Pika, here. Pika, why are you doing? she's now mesmerized by the candle. Pika, you silly. Lord have mercy. Why is she doing this to me? Pika, show everyone how pretty you are, my love bug. Come here. Show Mommy. Show Mommy and her friends how beautiful this little kitty is. And I get to look out the window at my bird feeder. And you get to see all the birds. I peek. Pika. Okay, Mommy's doing something. Stay away from the candle. Stop looking at it. I'm not going to restart this, so let's continue on the significance of the lotus. The mantra, Om Mani Padme Om. And it's wild, I'll just say, part of the quote-unquote fun of a spiritual journey is the seeking of the answers that you get embroiled in. And sometimes it's a relentless pursuit of knowledge. But in the end, you see how everything is connected. Okay. Sacred lotus, Indian lotus, angel lotus, 8-inch pink to white flowers, waxy green leaves, opens during the day, closes at night for 3 days. Okay, so I guess these are different types of lotus. Flowers. American lotus, yellow lotus, edible, teas, medicinal. The history of lotus. Millions of years survived the Ice Age, the flower of life, cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Pink lotus, national flower of India. Color meaning. Pinky, you're so pretty. You want to hear about the lotus too? Okay. Color meaning, white. Beauty, grace, purity of mind, wealth, knowledge, fertility, and faith. Peace and purity. Womb of, excuse me, womb of the world. Color meaning for pink, associated with Buddhism. Different meanings associated with stage of buds. True lotus, primary color of flower. Let's say true lotus, primary color of flower. Closed bud passing through the spiritual path. Fully bloomed, enlightenment. So in the realm of the pink lotus, it's associated with Buddhism, and different meanings are associated with different stage of the buds. Closed bud passing through the spiritual path, fully bloomed, enlightenment. Okay. Yellow lotus, joy, intellectual curiosity within spiritualism, openness, and hospitality. Red lotus, compassion, sympathy, and selfless love. There we go. And selfless love. Heart, passion, and generosity. So red lotus, love and passion makes sense. What are you doing now? What are you doing now? Why are you so needy. Pikachu. Oh my gosh. I can't. She's too much. Okay. I have to take things away from her like she's a child. Okay. So I don't know if a lot of these meanings are like translated to, the color of a rose. When you give someone a rose, and certain colors mean certain things. Could be. But just, pay attention that certain colors have significance. Blue Lotus, thought over emotions, referencing the mind, wisdom, knowledge, and worldly aspirations. A purple lotus is associated with Buddhism as well. Self awakening, harmony, and balance between different parts of ourselves. Petals equal a teachings of noble eightfold path. Meaning of lotus in Buddhism: spiritual awakening, purity, and faithfulness. Rising above challenges and moving towards light of wisdom. Excuse me. Lotus, related to the hell is that? Related to crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Meaning in Christianity: purity, creation of the universe, associated between sacred flowers and Jesus. Rise from muddy water for 3 days before blooming. And the significance of the number 3 in spirituality is pretty intense, I think. You'll find as you gather your knowledge through different interests that you may have. Plants' roots reach up to 6 feet deep. Long living seeds and can be reseeded. It's either reseeded or resurrected. I want to say reseeded after inactivity. The lotus in Hinduism: spiritual enlightenment, growth, purity, and birth. One's ability to perform their duty without being influenced by any desire, pleasure, or gain. Belief that life begins in the water. Lord Brahma appeared from Lord Vishnu sitting on a lotus plant. That's wild. So I was watching this documentary from, I want to say the 80s, but they showed it recently on PBS with Bill Moyers interviewing Joseph Campbell, Power of Myth. And Joseph Campbell wrote about the hero's journey and myths in all different religions, but he told a story about Lord Brahma. Excellent. This is an excellent documentary if you're interested at all, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this channel. Joseph Campbell, look that up. A wealth of information. Vishnu sitting on a lotus plant, goddess Saraswati, learning, goddess Lakshmi, wealth. Lotus in ancient Egypt, associated with rebirth and the sun, S-U-N. Commonality with sun and lotus. Disappears and re-emerging fresh in the morning. Creation, death, Book of the Dead. Spells transform person into lotus flower. Hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics. Unities appear and Lower Egypt. I don't know. I can't read my writing. I apologize. Meanings in other cultures. Search for true meaning of life. Reincarnation, rebirth. The Chinese. Symbol of femininity and marital happiness. In Japan. Spiritual and enchanting. Purity of the mind and body. What is this? Jameson, blue lotus, symbol of 21st Jina, Jina, Neminatha. I have no idea. Occasions. Get well soon. Thank you. Thinking of you. Not long lasting. A few hours to a day. Lotus, 18 petals. Sanskrit, lotus equals Padma. So Om Mani Padme Om. That mantra, which I wish I wrote the meaning of that. There's a relationship between that and the lotus. And I hope you got something out of this information session, nuggets of wisdom. Personally, I still feel there's so much more for me to learn about it. Perhaps I don't see the connection quite yet, but I know there is a connection between my lifelong desire to create this form, which to me is representative of the lotus. I didn't know that as a child. I have that sense now. There's a connection between mandala, meditation, creation, for me personally. There's a connection with this mantra that I attribute to my father saying, and it's been more relevant for me during this spiritual journey as far as like a meditation to practice. And understanding the significance of the colors associated, well, with the lotus, but just the power of colors and energy and the interrelationship between the chakras, which if you've seen a image related to each of the chakras, it takes a lotus form and each has different number of petals. So there's a significance with numbers, colors, energy, symbolism. I mean, there's just something there. So when I find the answers, I'll share it, of course. That's why I have nuggets of wisdom. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's something that you've been drawn to that keeps coming up in your life. Maybe some revelations that you've had personally with symbolism that keeps repeating itself during the course of your life. I'm sure there is, but for me, it's been the lotus. Yes. And thank you for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.